Sweat stings your eyes. Your lungs burn. Every step in the humid, sticky air is an effort. You stumble, losing your balance. Instinct screams, find something to hold on to. And there it is. A thick, sturdy branch coiling around a tree trunk. Salvation. Your hand closes on the rough bark, fingers finding a firm grip. But the sensation is deceptive. The branch isn't hard. It's cold, pliable, and it tightens. This wasn't salvation. It was a perfectly camouflaged tree viper. Its keeled scales felt almost indistinguishable from bark. A deception honed over 60 million years of evolution, and it works flawlessly. You've already made a fatal mistake. This isn't an accident. It's a verdict delivered by your own instincts. In this film, we'll explore why, on Snake Island, your brain is your greatest enemy. It has been refined over millions of years of evolution to identify threats, predators in the grass, dangerous cliffs. But here, it is utterly blind. The basic instinct to find support has become a deadly trap. We're used to looking for anomalies in a pattern, but here, the pattern itself is the threat. Your brain is a search engine, perfectly tuned to the query, find a tiger in tall grass. It looks for orange stripes against a green background. But on this island, the grass itself is the tiger. Your search query is fundamentally flawed. The system returns a fatal error. Threat not found. We'll see how snakes use not just invisibility, but cognitive camouflage that hacks your perception. We'll dissect their chemical weapons, a mobile biochemical laboratory in their fangs that acts faster than you can comprehend what's happening. And we'll understand how the island wages psychological warfare, a siege on your sanity, where the walls are your own skull. Their first weapon is invisibility. But this isn't the invisibility of fairy tales. It's an aggressive dissolution into reality. Take the gaboon viper. Its pattern isn't an attempt to blend with leaves. It's a mathematically calculated deception that forces your brain to break its image into fragments. You see a triangle of shadow, a strip of light, the texture of a decaying leaf. But you don't see the snake. It's like looking at a broken mirror scattered across the forest floor. You see reflections of branches and sky in its shards, but the mirror itself is indistinguishable. The gaboon viper is precisely such a biological mirror. It possesses the longest fangs of any snake, up to 5 centimeters, and delivers the largest volume of venom in a single bite. A recognition error here is your last error. You scan the ground, searching for a serpentine shape, a snake's silhouette. But you are doomed to fail, because you're looking for an object on a background when the snake is the background. Your eyes send a complete and accurate picture to your brain. But the brain, like a diligent sensor, discards it as visual noise, a meaningless collection of spots and lines. The threat isn't just hidden. To your conscious mind, it simply doesn't exist. It's like a reverse stereogram. Your brain isn't trying to find a hidden object. It's actively working to not see it, confidently delivering the verdict. There's nothing here. Freeze. Look at any pattern around you right now, on a carpet, wallpaper, or wood grain. Now imagine one of those elements is deadly. Your brain, at this very moment, categorically refuses to see it. It searches for familiar shapes. It ignores the background. On Snake Island, the background is the predator, and it's already watching you. Nearly 30% of your cerebral cortex is dedicated to processing visual information, a colossal amount of computing power. Yet, it all falters before this ancient trick. The principle of disruptive camouflage is so effective that militaries have copied it to create their digital patterns. Snakes spent millions of years perfecting this illusion, not for us, but to deceive creatures with incomparably sharper vision, birds, mongooses. To their recognition systems, a human is a large, slow, almost blind target. Our evolution simply didn't prepare us for such an adversary. An eagle's vision is 4 to 8 times sharper than a human's. Snakes evolved to outsmart this aerial sniper. Trying to spot such a snake with the human eye is like bringing a pocket calculator to a chess tournament against a supercomputer. You won't just lose, you won't even understand the rules of the game. But let's imagine the improbable: you spot it. A fraction of a second? Instinct? Luck? You recoil? Have you won? No. You've merely advanced to the next level. A level where the enemy's weapon operates on a molecular scale, and it doesn't even need to touch you. Some, like the spitting cobra, don't even need to bite. It can blind you from 3 meters away, turning your eyes, your only detection tool, into a source of agony. You just passed the vision test and immediately failed the chemistry exam. Forget everything you thought you knew about venom. It's not just a toxin. It's a complex protein cocktail, a proteomic arsenal designed for specific purposes. It's not a bullet. It's a smart warhead with hundreds of different destructive elements, each selecting a unique key to breach your specific physiology. The composition of this weapon changes depending on the snake's diet and age. It's a mobile biochemical laboratory that constantly adapts, dividing its output into 2 main groups: neurotoxins, which attack the nervous system, and hemotoxins, which target blood and tissues. The first option, neurotoxin. Initially, a slight tingling in your lips, then your eyelids become leaden, impossible to lift. You try to inhale, but your diaphragm muscles no longer obey commands. You are fully conscious. Your brain screams in terror, but you are trapped within your own body, which slowly shuts down, system by system. Black mamba dendrotoxins block neuromuscular synapses. It's as if someone systematically cut the wires in your body's control panel. You are the dispatcher, watching all the indicators on the console go dark, one by one. All of this unfolds in just 20 minutes. The second option, hemotoxin. This isn't a quiet paralysis. It's an explosion of pain, as if boiling oil has been injected into your vein. Tissues around the bite begin to blacken and literally dissolve before your eyes. Your blood loses its ability to clot. You start bleeding from everywhere, from your eyes, from your gums. The venom of the African boomslang destroys capillary walls. This isn't a system shutdown, it's a total demolition. A microscopic team of saboteurs blowing up your circulatory system from the inside. Your body consumes itself. For a snake, this isn't a weapon, it's cutlery. It begins to digest its prey long before it's swallowed, saving energy. To the snake, you're not an enemy to be defeated. You're a resource, preparing itself for consumption. The bite is the delivery of a self-marinating sauce. You become a dish that tenderizes itself from within. Venom production is an extremely energy-intensive process. The snake doesn't want to waste it on you. Your demise is the result of a tragic mistake, where you encroached upon its space, and it simply used its most effective tool. Venom kills the body, and camouflage deceives the eyes. But the island's most terrifying weapon isn't aimed at flesh. It strikes directly at your mind, using silence and anticipation. This enemy guarantees you won't last 3 days. Constant, unpredictable, and inevitable threat plunges the brain into a state of learned helplessness. The island's most fearsome weapon isn't the hiss of a snake, but the silence between the rustling leaves, because in that silence, your brain itself conjures thousands of imaginary snakes. Your brain enters a mode of total hypervigilance. Every rustling leaf, every shifting shadow, every gust of wind is a potential attack. But this mode isn't designed for sustained operation. Your amygdala, the ancient fear center, works non-stop, flooding your system with cortisol and adrenaline. It's like a fire alarm blaring 24 hours a day. At first, you react to every signal. Then, you stop distinguishing real smoke from steam from a kettle. Military studies confirm that cognitive functions in such a state drop by 60% within 48 hours. You become dumber, slower, and that's just the beginning. And then night falls, but there will be no sleep. Sleep on the ground, vipers, in a tree, tree snakes, in a cave. That's their home. The absence of a safe place is a torture that breaks the will faster than hunger. After 48 hours without sleep, your brain begins to forcibly shut down. This is called microsleep, lapses in reality lasting 3 to 10 seconds. You take a step, not seeing the snake beneath your foot, because in that moment your consciousness simply didn't exist. Sleep is the defragmentation of your mind. Without it, your operating system malfunctions, freezing at the most inopportune moment. Let's introduce a paranoia scale. Day 1, 5 out of 10, you're cautious. Day 2, 9 out of 10, you flinch at every raindrop. Day 3, the scale breaks. Your brain, overloaded with stress, begins to generate hallucinations. It so desperately wants to find a snake that it starts seeing them in the curve of a root, in the play of shadows. This is a cognitive malfunction, similar to Charles Bonnet syndrome, where the brain itself conjures images to fill the void. You expend your remaining energy fighting phantoms while the real threat calmly waits. You try to create order. You clear a small patch of ground, creating the illusion of a safe space. But you've forgotten that the threat here is three-dimensional. Snakes don't just crawl, they fall from trees. The paradise tree snake, Chrysopolia paradisi, can glide from tree to tree for distances up to 100 meters. Your clear zone on the ground is simply a convenient landing pad for it. Your attempt to build a fortress is like constructing a sandcastle to stop a tsunami. And so, when your mind is broken by exhaustion and paranoia, the island delivers its final, most elegant strike. It uses against you what you've trusted your entire life. The final act of this tragedy isn't a bite to the leg. It's the revelation that the compass you've navigated by your whole life, your perception, was broken from the very beginning, and you never even noticed. Because your perception is a one-way street. You look. But the snake feels you. It tastes the air. Its forked tongue collects molecules of your sweat, your fear. The Jacobson's organ in its palate analyzes this chemical fingerprint with incredible precision. To it, you're not a visual image, you're a scent map. But that's only half the picture. Pit vipers see the world in a spectrum unavailable to you. Their thermosensitive pits detect temperature differences as small as 0.003 of a degree Celsius. In absolute darkness, you are to them a huge, bright, panicking spot against a cold background. The two pits create stereoscopic thermal vision, allowing them to determine the distance to a target with surgical precision. This is a fundamental asymmetry. You look at the world through a keyhole. The snake sees it in a 4K thermal imager with volumetric scent analysis. Take the vine snake. It's not just green, it's slender as a liana. It even sways in the wind, perfectly mimicking plant movement. Your brain sees this, cross-references its image library, and delivers a verdict: this is a plant. It categorically refuses to see a predator here because it breaks all learned rules. This is a biological hack. The snake sends a data packet to your brain with the digital signature: I am a plant. Your internal antivirus, trained over millions of years, sees the familiar signature and allows the packet to pass unchecked. The malicious code is already inside the system, and you yourself opened the gates. Right now, your brain is making thousands of simplifications so you can focus on this text. It filters out peripheral vision, ignores room sounds. This is efficiency mode. On Snake Island, efficiency mode is a guaranteed death sentence. Your brain makes up only 2% of your body mass, but consumes 20% of all your energy. Its mental shortcuts and heuristics aren't laziness, but a vital mechanism for conserving resources. On this island, your greatest strength becomes your Achilles heel. And here's the main paradox: the more desperately you search for snakes, the worse you see them. Your brain, overloaded by the task, begins to malfunction. This is called inattentional blindness, amplified by perceptual load theory. When your mind is occupied with a complex task, such as find a snake that looks like a snake, it literally becomes blind to objects that don't fit that image, even if they're right in front of you. Professional illusionists build their entire careers on this principle. Snake Island is the greatest illusionist of all, and its trick is always deadly. And now, the official survival protocol. Just 4 points. Point 1, never trust your eyes. They lie. Point 2, move as if every inch of land, air, and water wants to kill you. Because it does. Point 3, forget about sleep. You won't need it anymore. And the main 4th point, you are not a hunter here, nor prey. You are an ingredient that walked into the kitchen itself. This isn't theory, it's the reality of Ilha da Queimada Grande off the coast of Brazil. Snake density there reaches 5 individuals per square meter. It is so dangerous that the government has officially prohibited visits. The venom of the local island pit viper is 5 times stronger than that of its mainland relatives, causing tissue necrosis in a matter of minutes. Remember that branch you grabbed at the very beginning? Your mistake wasn't choosing it. Your mistake was fundamentally believing that the concept of reliable support even existed on this island. There is nothing here but varying degrees of threat. The real poison on this island wasn't the liquid that entered your vein. The real poison was the hope that you could find safety here. That hope killed you long before the bite. So what kills more quickly and reliably here? The snake's perfect biological venom, or the fundamental flaws of the human mind? Write just one word in the comments: venom or mind. Let's see what we truly fear more: an external threat or betrayal from within. Ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes, is one of humanity's most common and perhaps innate fears. It turns out our brain is evolutionarily programmed to fear them, yet completely incapable of effectively detecting them. This is the main, insoluble conflict, a verdict pronounced by evolution upon itself.